Okay, hello everybody. So I did not know my videos were not working and I was recording today's videos, and when I got almost done with today's, I realized that I had no sound. So then I went back and started re-recording today's, and I found out my phone was dead, and I realized once that I got it charged that y'all didn't have sound for Monday, so all that I did Friday was just a waste of time, I guess, but we will start again today. So we have how to make slime, and we are going to do a writing expository on how to make slime. So first of all, we need to know how to make slime. If we need to review what expository is, do you remember what expository writing means? We have mainly two types of writing. We have fiction and we have nonfiction. So fiction is make-believe, it is pretend, it's for enjoyment, to relax and just read a good book. But other types of writing are real and they are facts. Expository is when we want to help others learn how to do something that we enjoy or we feel is important. And so we have words that we use, but this time they stepped it up a little bit and they have other words. They have, first, you do this. And the next word is, let me trace it so you can see it, because if I don't trace it, I don't think you can see it. Can you say what it is? Can you look at your books and tell me what it is? Next. So we have first we do this. Next we do that. And then do you remember what the next word that we use is? You can look at your book if you can't remember. I'm going to trace it. Then. So we have first, next, then, and they've added one more word. And it is a big word, so it's going to take me just a minute to trace it so you can see it. And it is finally. What is the final thing? The final thing is the last thing. So finally is the last thing. So we have first, next, then, and finally. So first of all, we're just going to learn how we make it. To start off, you need a half a cup. I have a glass measuring cup and it's a half a cup of glue. I have a dry liquid measuring cup and it's half a cup of water, and I did not fill mine full. It's almost to the top, but it's not to the top. And we have a fourth a cup of liquid starch. That's the opaque liquid. It's kind of whitish. It's not the glue. It's not as dark white as the glue. It's just kind of cloudy looking. 1/4 cup of liquid starch. And then your food color, I'm going to try for peach. Peach is a pinkish orange, and I really like that. So I'm going to try that. You'll need a fork, and also, I forgot, you will need a bowl. So let me go get a bowl. Here's my bowl. Just a small bowl will do because we're not making a huge amount. So the first thing I did was I got my ingredients together. And if I look at my book, it says I have a bowl, I have ingredients, I have mix, and I have play with slime. So those are the things that we're going to be writing about. So what is the first thing we did? When you're taking notes, it's not important to write complete thoughts. Just a few words or phrases to get it down. Take your notes yourself. Don't make mom do it. So we're going to say first, I got my ingredients. But all I need is just a little memory, a little thing to help me remember. Ingredients. This is my notes that I'm taking. First, I got my ingredients together. But all I need to remember that is just first, ingredients. Pause the video if you need to. So I am going to put my ingredients into my bowl. I'm going to put my glue into my bowl. I'm going to scrape it with my fork. Let me see if you can see me scrape this. I'm going to get all that good glue out of there. Okay. So I'm getting all of my glue into my bowl. It's important to measure so that your recipe will turn out right. If we don't measure, we have no way of knowing what the result will be. And then I'm going to put my water in my bowl. pour my water in my bowl. And I've got my fork in here, so now I'm going to stir. And it's a little thick and a little hard to mix, but I'm going to stir with a little whisk motion. And the tines of my fork will mix it all together. So I want it to be not stringy. I don't want to be able to see the water separated from the glue. I want it to be all creamy. So mix till it's all creamy. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now, you create the color you want. I am going to put 2 drops of red. Let me see if I can show you. 1, 2. All right. Put the lid right back on there because I do not want this to spill. It's not washable. It's stainable. All right. And I'm going to put 3 drops of yellow. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put the lid right back on here. Don't want to make a mess. And I'm going to stir. All right. Ooh, it is a dark red. Maybe I should have just put 1 red drop in here because this is really dark. I'm going to see if I can add 1 more or 2 more yellows. Let's see what that'll do. It might turn out to be a weird color. 1, 2, 3. Whoops. Well, I guess we ended up with 3. All right. I'm going to stir. All my color is mixed up. This is a nice color. It's not quite the color I wanted. It's a little darker. Let's see if I can show you. That looks like egg yolk on the picture. It doesn't really look like that color. It really looks a lot pinker than that. All right, now I'm going to take my liquid starch and pour it in. Okay. Now here comes the slime part. So we're going to just stir. And it'll start getting blobby. And if it's getting blobby, then you know it's working. See, mine is already getting blobby. But what we want it to be is thick enough that it won't stick to our fingers. But we want it thin enough that it doesn't separate into strings when we try to stretch it. So that's very stretchy, but it's not real smooth yet. So stir quickly. And I can see that mine is still really sticking to my bowl. And I'm not happy with that. It's very thick. Okay, but it does not look like it's something I want to put my fingers in yet because I don't want it to stick to my fingers. So I'm going to add 1 tablespoon at a time. I'm going to pour some more into my cup. And this is a recipe I found online, so we just have to make adjustments as we feel necessary. I think it depends on how much water you actually put. It says a 1/2 cup, but if you adjust a little bit, or if your cup is a little bit fuller maybe than a 1/2 cup, or not quite as full. Ooh, nice and blobby. All right, now comes the messy part. Now I am going to take my hands and I'm just going to work it and squeeze it. See, it's letting go of my hands really well. That's what you want it to do. But you don't want to get so much starch in there that it won't stretch anymore, because then you don't have slime. It just breaks off into pieces. Okay, so this is really neat. All right, it's starting to stick to my hands just a little bit, so I may have to add just a little bit more. A little bit more starch. Ooh, I like it. It's nice. It's not sticking to the bowl anymore. The bowl is pretty clean. All right, but it's still sticking in my hands just a little bit, so I'm going to add a little bit more, about a tablespoon. And I did not know this, but liquid starch has cornstarch in it. I just thought there were 2 different things. All right. I think my slime is done. I think if I add any more starch, it's going to fall into pieces and not stretch. See how I'm getting a lot of pieces falling off of there instead of one blob? So I think mine has got about as much liquid starch in it as it can hold. I'll put a little bit of liquid starch on my hands so it doesn't stick. And there you have it. Now, where is a safe place to play with slime? On the carpet? No. What about on your bed? No. What about on the countertop? Maybe. On the table? Well, if you're on the table, it will stick to wood. You can clean it up, but it will stick. So what I suggest is to get a large piece of wax paper. Wax paper is stiffer than plastic wrap, and it has a wax covering. And I would suggest that you spread a piece out, and you can play with your slime. And when you are done, where should the slime go? Mama's probably like, in the trash. You can put it in a plastic bag and save it for later. Should you get slime out if Mama doesn't know it? No, you should not. You should only play with it when Mama has got everything set up for you, so where it'd be safe. There's a lot of fun things you can do with slime. You can put it through, if you have little wire shelf, you can put it through there and it will slice it. It's really fun to see it come down. Or you can just play with it. And people who like sensory things, they really like slime. If you don't like sensory things, you probably will not like the slime. So, first of all, we got our ingredients together. What is the second thing that we did? Let's look at our book and get an idea. They've got ingredients, mix, bowl, play with slime. Does that give you any ideas? Next, I think we could say we added, add and wanted. We added, what did we add? We added water, glue, and color. Whoops, I misspelled color. So you write down what you want to write down. I put what we did next was we added water, glue, and color. Now these are just my notes. I might end up changing it a little bit when I get ready to write my actual paper. I might need to add some more words. And what did we do next? The next word we have is then. Then what did we add? The main ingredient, we added liquid starch. It's a Q. Q goes on the back side. Liquid starch. And that's all I'm going to say because that's all I'll need when I'm trying to remember my sentence, what we did next. First, next, then. And then finally, what do you think we need to do with our slime now that it's made? We need to play with our slime. We need to play with our slime. Okay, so you can pause your video and you can write it down. You can write down what you want to from your own memory, from your own mind, with your own thoughts, which I like you to do that. And that's all we need to do for our writing today. Tomorrow we will start making sentences in our book, and we are doing expository, showing someone how to make slime. So I will see you later.